I just did a video on color grading and lookup tables, and what a pain in the butt. Their lookup tables and the color grading is awful. It takes up a lot of time, and I'm looking at this right now, and this isn't well lit, and this looks much nicer. Whatever you're doing, Sony, with your color science, I mean, just as the out of the box stuff, it's so very nice. And I wore a colorful shirt, like, purposely, just to test it out. But that has nothing to do with this video. This is just that when you watch, if you watch videos back to back, you're like, oh, what's happening here? That's what's happening. The previous video was about color grading, and this video is about drones. I'm not going to do any crazy reviews of the drones. There are people who are far more suited for that. But I think I have an interesting perspective on some DJI drones, and I want to share that with you, and I hope that it helps you in your purchasing decisions. So let's do that. Let's do the thing. Let's do the thing. I'm going to take some stuff out. See, I was not prepared for this. I should have prepared better. I have to go and get drones because I have 2 drones, and I want to talk about why I have 2 drones instead of 1 drone. But I'm going to get the drones so I can show them to you. See this drone right here? Oh, I wish I had the product shot thing. This is the DJI Mini. It's the original Mini. It is not the DJI Mini 2, which I'll get to in a second. I bought this because I wanted a drone. This thing is under the 250 grams that is required for government registration, and it flies for about 18 minutes or whatever it may be, but 250 grams, no government regulations or registrations, and it's a 2.7K camera on a gimbal. This is the DJI, you know what? It's the Mavic Air 2. This is the DJI Mavic Air 2. Not the 2S, but the 2. This is considerably more expensive than the Mini. And probably based on the timing of this video, because I just read that the DJI Mini SE just came out for like $300 or $400, and it's probably exactly this. I'm going to say something. This drone, right, in and of itself, it's fine. It takes a decent enough picture, at the 2.7, because again, some people are probably uploading to YouTube at 4K, but most people aren't, so it still gives you a little headroom at the 2.7K. This thing is fine as a drone, evaluating it as a drone by itself. The problem that I ran into was, I'm gonna switch hands, right? So I'm gonna be right back. My major beef is this. The controller for the DJI Mini is hot garbage. It is the hottest of hot garbage. I hate this thing. I hate it so much that it literally made me never want to use the drone. Let me explain. So it folds up, and ergonomically, how lovely, right? It folds up and it's nice. But you have to it's got these legs at the bottom. I'm sorry that it's not in focus. It's got these legs at the bottom. And you're supposed to put your phone in there. Except, here's the phone. The phone doesn't fit. So, I don't have huge phones. I don't even like the big ones. The phone does not fit in here properly. So you can angle it in. You have to take it out of the case. That's the other thing. If you have a case on, so that means if you have a phone and you have a case, you have to take the phone out of the case, and then you have to jam it in to this thing. You can angle it in. And by the way, this is not my main phone. So this one actually is fitting a little bit better. But you angle it in over here. And it sucks. And then you have to run a cable from the phone, and I have it inside. I have it in the wrong way. So you run the cable for the phone into a spot over here so you can snake it underneath. Then you turn it on, and it drains your battery, and it sucks. It's an absolutely unpleasant experience to use. It looks cute and it looks ergonomic, but it makes me never want to fly my drone. There's another problem with this one, and I'm going to shout out to my buddy Lloyd. This particular drone, the controller and the drone are connected via Wi-Fi, and it has a very, very limited range. My buddy Lloyd and his son, we were at a lake a couple of weeks ago, His son took the drone out on the lake, flew it out in the lake. It lost connectivity by drone. So $400 gone. Gone. So yeah, that's a huge bummer. And I always got the vibe when I used the Mini that I was going to lose it. It was going to fly away. So I didn't use it. So you have this thing, so you could take a picture and take the videos, and then you're scared to use it because you're worried that it's not going to work, and it's a pain in the ass to use. So I'm like, am I going to buy another drone? And the other reason why I didn't want to buy another drone and I liked the Mini was because of the 249 gram limit. The fact that it was underneath the limit, you had these options where you didn't have to register with the government, and it wasn't as scary. It wasn't scary. So I held off on buying a drone until I said, we're going to go to these like lake houses, and it would be really cool to have a drone that I feel more comfortable flying over the lake. And some news came out about the DJI Mini 2. The DJI Mini 2 uses not Wi-Fi, whatever DJI's proprietary connection system between the drone and the controller. It uses the better proprietary system, which means that you can get the professional controller, which leads me to the next thing. I'm going to turn around and get the controller. The Pro controller, the DJI Pro controller. This is $700 or $750. So now, if you want to have a better flying experience per se, you have to spend $750 to have a better controller. And I kind of did, but I bought it in the package with the Maverick. So the Maverick didn't come with the original Maverick 2 controller. It came with this instead, and I saved a couple of shekels. I was really going back and forth about whether or not I should buy the controller as a standalone with the DJI Mini 2, which is now compatible with this, or if I should buy a package. The package ended up being like maybe $50 more expensive for a better drone, which is why I ended up going with the Fly More package with the professional or the smart controller and the better drone. But if I had a DJI Mini 2 first, I would have done this. I would have bought this and called it a day because of the flying limitations. But I'll say this. If you're just doing this as a hobbyist, there's 2 versions of the test. It's not even a test. You can't fail it. So if you're scared about the government registration, don't be. It's actually kind of educational, and it's not bad. It's actually a good course to go through. And I'm glad that they did it. It made me learn more about using the drones and when I can use it. I feel less self-conscious about using it. There's actually an app that the government or somebody provides. The government recommends that you download this app. It's called B, like the letter B, the number 4, the letter U, fly. So before you fly, you could download this app and it'll tell you if you can fly there or not. And that's something that I always get like sketched out. Oh, can I take this drone out and use it? Like, well, when can I use it? I can never use the drone. You can use it just fine. Like, there's a lot of places that you can use it that I didn't think that you could. The class was good. It was educational. It actually helped me learn about using the drone and where I can use it. The controller, this thing is a delight. It's $700, and I hate that it's $700, and I hate that is like the thing that makes me feel most comfortable flying. But it's really good, and I know there's a lot of people online that kind of complained or it's glitchy or whatever, and it did connect right out of the gate. It worked fine. The firmware upgrade was actually straight up. It was a bit of a nightmare to get it to do the firmware upgrade. I actually had to connect it physically to my computer and download a specific app. But once I got that going, and you should probably do that, by the way, so if you get one of these, get the desktop app and just connect it with the USB cable. It works a lot better for the firmware upgrade. But once I did that, it's really nice. I mean, I can take this thing out of the bag, take the drone out of the bag, and we're good to go. We're flying in seconds as opposed to setting that stupid camera up or setting up the phone, snaking the cables, connecting the thing. The Mini was just not a good user experience. It's nothing to do with the drone, which sucks. The drone's fine. The Mini was fine. I would have been using it, but the controller sucked. Now, the newer controller that comes with the Mavic 2, the default one, and I think it might even come with the Mini 2? I'm not sure about that one. It's actually a nice controller too. It's a nicer controller. it's kind of good. I mean, it's fine. You still have to connect your phone, but they do it on top, and it looks like they actually figured a couple of things out. But I would say in general, I don't want to chance the fact that I may have to take the phone out of the case to connect it so it fits into the thing properly. It was just a pain in the ass. It really was. And then it drained your battery, and if you're out in the middle of nowhere, do you really want to drain battery? I hate that this is $700, but I love that I can just take this thing out of my bag, take the drone out, turn everything on, and it's ready to go. You pay for convenience. You pay for convenience. So, and again, I really, really wish that the Mini could work with this, but it doesn't, because then, best of both worlds, yeah, you have a government registered drone, but then you have the one that doesn't have the regulation, and you can fly it a little bit more freely. But I can't, but if you, most people are not going to probably buy a Mini nowadays. They'll probably go for the 2. Although be careful with that SE because of what I just said, because the SE is basically, I think it's that. And that controller sucks. The end. Don't get that because of the controller. Because you'll never want to fly the damn drone. And then what's the point of having it? So thank you for watching this. I hope that this was helpful to you, and I hope that this specific point of view was helpful, because I don't think that a lot of people have shared this exact opinion. I looked at a lot of videos to figure this stuff out and to see if anybody said it this way, and they didn't. So I hope this helps you, and happy flying. Take that test. It's good. It only takes 20 minutes, and it's good. So the government really wasn't shady, and I think it's like $20 or $14 to register the drone with the government, and yeah. And I don't know. I'm gonna show you the Mavic 2 S or Air 2. But I have here's another little tip, and you should do this with any of the DJI drones. They sell PGY Tech sells these like holders for the blades, so when you put it in the bag, so there's one that goes up top and then there's one that goes at the bottom. I would definitely buy that. There's been more than one occasion that when I put the drone away into the bag, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna break the propeller off. So kind of cheap, and definitely whatever drone you have, buy something like this to protect the blades when you put it away, and it keeps them secure. It's good. So, but again, not much bigger than the Mini. Where the hell is my Mini? They're not that much. It's not that much bigger. So do it like that. It's not that much bigger. And you get like more fly time. And again, another buying tip, if this is like a buying advice video, get the Fly More combo, get the 3 batteries. You're gonna need the 3 batteries. You go regardless of the flight time. If they say, you know, the battery gets you 10 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever, they average about 15 minutes, and I don't like to get that close to the limitation. So when I'm about 40%, I bring it back. And you use more battery if it's windy, which is a whole other thing, right? I'm scared to fly it in the wind. I'm scared to fly this thing. I don't, you invest the money in it and then you crash it or something like that. That's scary. But they have a warranty package that if you can retrieve it, that's the thing though. If you lose it in the water, you don't get your money, or you don't get a replacement. So don't lose your drone in the water. Okay, I'm done. Thank you for watching this. I really hope that this is helpful to you, because I wish that I had this video for me before I bought this guy. Although, again, in principle, good. The controller sucks. Thank you. Have a great day.